YouTube family, what's good with you? It's your boy 2A and LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I should go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. Alright, fam, before we get this episode rolling, just a couple of disclaimers. I do not sell firearms, nor do I promote the sale of firearms or accessories or anything that would constitute a violation of YouTube community guidelines. Any reviews that I do on firearms or accessories are just that. They are for review purposes only. And if I reference the gun manufacturer or the company that happened to supply the product, I am just referencing that for disclosure purposes. All right? Now, fam, look. If you are not a member of the 2A in LA fam club, I do not know what you are doing at this point in time. As a member of the fan club, you receive unreleased content. You will receive content early. You become automatically eligible for all the giveaways that we do in our bi-weekly live streams, fam. Look. I believe I offer some of the best giveaway opportunities on YouTube. So make sure you're a member of the fam club. It's only $2.99 a month. Just click on that join button down below. And if you are interested in any of the 2A in LA merchandise, just hit that QR code in the corner. You see it. You see it right there. That will take you to the 2A in LA channel. Also, you can sign up to participate in a lot of our giveaways there. So make sure you hit that QR code. All right, that's it. Now let's get back into the episode. All right, fam, let's get this episode rolling. Look, I told you. Look, fam. I got the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid in 2025. And I told you then I was blown away. For an MSRP that's sub $4,000 and kind of in the mid threes, I was like, I don't know if there is a better gun at that price. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there's not a better gun at that price. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there's not a better gun at prices far above that price point. I said then, look, no reason if you, in a world where the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid TC exists, I don't know why anybody would buy a Staccato XC unless they just wanted to have an XC. I told you that I thought the construction, the fit and finish, everything about the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid was better than the Staccato XC and other guns. I don't want to just focus on Staccatos. If you got a gun that was in the the kind of $3,000 to $5,000 range, yeah, no, I'm not picking any other gun above the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid. If I'm keeping it 100, maybe even $6,000 or less, I don't know if I'm picking any other gun. I said by far, this was the best value buy out there on the market. Hands down. No doubt about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I said the one area where I felt like the gun, I'm not going to say it was a miss, but where the gun, if the gun had any weaknesses, the one area that it had weaknesses in was the aesthetic of the gun. I felt like there wasn't a lot of flair to it. But as a tool, as a shooter, phenomenal. But I said, don't fret. Don't fret, fam. Your boy 2A in LA is here for you. Because we are going to cure what ails the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid TC. And so I sent this out to my man Trenton at TDS Gunworks for a bit of a facelift. And I'm telling you, look, You put me with somebody like Trent, boy, sparks are going to fly, and man, did they. So what I'm going to need you to do is stop playing with your boy. Check out your boy 2A in LA's custom Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid. What we did was we opened up the slide cuts on both sides to give it a little bit more flair and to obviously lighten the slide a bit. We ported the gun. We did a V8 porting system with ports on both sides of the gun. Then obviously we PVD'd all of the small parts on the gun, and my man Trenton did made an already very, very good trigger even a little better. And fam, this gun will runs. It is ridiculous. I'm not joking, fam. I'm not gonna go crazy. Hold on. I'm not saying this is Rafferty. I'm not saying this is Venom. I'm not saying this is Hayes. But I gotta say, take price points away from it. Just as a shooter, and now with this aesthetic, this is without a doubt one of the best guns in my collection, and that's saying something. I got over 40-something 2011s. This gun is right up there with the best of the best of the best as a shooter, and now I feel aesthetically as well. I mean, I think the gun is just stunning. TDS Gunworks did an amazing job on this firearm. Just an amazing job. And like I said, took an already amazing gun and elevated the aesthetic and the shootability to another level. Now, when I did the original review on this gun, it scored an 89 out of a possible 100. Almost hit grill gun status. And I said then, look, I wasn't done. I told you guys then I was not done. I said, look, mess around and find out. Because I'm going to send this gun off, and when it comes back, we're going to need to reevaluate this score we had. And it would not surprise me if this gun found its way to grill gun status. So look, let's get into it. Alright fam, when we originally reviewed this gun, the gun scored a 14 out of a possible 15 for fit and finish. I gotta say, with the refinement that Trenton has done at TDS Gunworks with the porting, the PVD coating, etc., the refining of the trigger a bit, I just feel like the gun has stepped it up just a hair and warrants a 15 out of a possible 15 for fit and finish. The gun scored 14s in reliability and durability. I think those still hold true today, and so we're going to keep those scores for reliability. And I should also say, since the porting was done, the gun ran flawlessly, not one issue whatsoever. And same thing for durability. So again, 14 out of a possible 15 for reliability, 14 out of a possible 15 for durability. Previously for trigger, the gun earned a 14 out of a possible 15. I think I mentioned to you guys, Trenton tweaked the trigger just a hair. I'll go ahead and I'll put the new pull weight up there, but you're at the wall. There is essentially no take up, clear defined wall, crisp clean break, reset. That's a mighty fine trigger. That is a mighty fine trigger. For trigger, we're going to up the score once again to 15 out of a possible 15. Next up, accuracy. I found this gun to be incredibly accurate when I did the original review. 9 out of a possible 10. Fam, when you factor in the improved trigger and even more importantly, this VA porting on this gun, the porting combined with the comp, this gun is ridiculous. It is ridiculously flat. it is incredible from a shootability perspective, and shootability in my scale is also a part of the accuracy score, because you can have a gun that's functionally accurate, that has a very accurate barrel, but when you start shooting at higher rates of speed, can you maintain that level of accuracy? Well, I can tell you, with the comp originally, excellent job. You take these comps, the ports, the gas pedal, the trigger, all of those things combined, it takes this gun next level. Accuracy, we're going to give it a 10 out of a possible 10. Next up, ergonomics, we gave it a 9 out of a possible 10 before. I have this Masterpiece Arms grip on my Prodigy. Love it. Love it on the DS9 as well. It got a 9 out of a possible 10 for ergonomics. Previously, we're going to keep it at 9 out of a possible 10. Alright fam, when it comes to aftermarket support, maintenance, and upkeep, the DS9 Hybrid is no different than any other 2011. Every 1,000 rounds or so, you got to break it down and clean it. Aftermarket support continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. It got 4 out of 5 in both of those categories. We're going to keep it the same. Aftermarket support, 4 out of 5. Maintenance and upkeep, 4 out of a possible 5. Next up, affordability. Okay, so look, $3,600 is not cheap by anybody's standards. That said, for what you get for the quality of the machining, the fit and finish, the componentry, all of that, feature rich, great comp that runs like nobody's business. Like, I feel like this gun, and nobody tell Masterpiece Arms this, but this is probably like a $5,500 gun if I'm keeping it 100. I think they're undercutting their price by about $2,000. Shh. Because if it works for them, it works for me. But to take that $3,600 gun and invest a little bit more money into it, to be sitting here probably all in, as you see the gun here at maybe $4,250. Tell me what $4,250 gun looks like this. Has these features: ported, compensated, DLC coated PVD small parts, bomb trigger. What? Who's doing? Nobody. Unbelievable. But look, still an expensive gun, but for affordability from a value perspective, it can't be ignored. We gave it a 4 out of a possible 5 for affordability previously. We're going to keep it at 4 out of a possible 5 for affordability here. Last but not least, flex. Look, I told you guys then, the one drawback of the gun was the aesthetic. And consequently, I felt like from a flex perspective, it wasn't flexing as hard as it potentially could. And I told you though, I was going to address it. So look, stop playing. Stop playing. The window cuts, the porting, the PVD, it's just next level, you guys. Next level. Flex points, we gave it a 3 out of a possible 4 before. Now it's getting 4 out of a possible 5. And I was this close to giving it a 5 out of 5 for flex. But I think 4 out of 5 for flex is totally fair for what you see here. Alright fam, look, when you add all that up, you get a 93 out of a possible 100 Grail gun status for the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid TC reimagined by TDS Gunworks. Grail gun status. Look fam, well deserved. Well deserved. Bravo Masterpiece Arms. Bravo TDS Gunworks. This gun, as I said earlier, is without a doubt one of the best looking aesthetic guns in my collection, and also one of the best shooting guns in my collection, and that is why it is worthy of Grail gun status. I can't stress enough, fam, if you're operating on a budget and you want a gun that looks and feels like a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 gun at kind of an all-in low 4 $8K price point, this is the one. This is the one. If budget was my concern, look, if I could only buy or only have one gun, I'm probably choosing my Rafferty Lucky Devil, right? Or my Venom, right? Or one of my Infinities, or one of my Haze, or something like this. But these are $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 guns, right? They should be that. They should be that. But the drop off from there to where you start getting into the Atlases of the world, the Fowlers of the world, the Cardinal Arms of the world, and others of that ilk, fam. This gun is right there at a fraction of the cost. Because those guns that I'm talking about, they're $6,000 guns, they're $5,000 guns, $4,500 guns and up. And this gun is coming in at $3,600 with everything you see here to be sitting at $42, $43, $44. Is ridiculous. It is a ridiculous value. 100% do not sleep on the Masterpiece Arms DS9 Hybrid TC. Alright fam, look, that's it for this episode. Again, shout out to Masterpiece Arms, shout out to DDS Gunworks for amazing work. Alright, until next time, as always, I want you guys to take care of one another, and peace.